What's up, guys? This is Matt, and I'm back again this week with some more Call of Duty gameplay. About 2 weeks ago, I had my buddy Miles on the show just to talk about the Academy Awards, the nomination process, the nominees, and basically just one of the biggest nights in Hollywood. Now, in that commentary, he had some very strong feelings about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So I asked him to just come back, to save it, and come back again this week and talk about how he's feeling. So let's just start off. Miles, why don't you say hello?
How's it going, guys? Thanks, Matt, for having me back.
Thank you for coming back. Thank you for joining us again. Let's start this off nice and quick. Just to get everyone started and up to speed, what categories was Harry Potter nominated for this year?
This year at the Academy Awards, Harry Potter was nominated for Best Achievement in Visual Effects, Best Achievement in Art Direction, and Best Achievement in Makeup.
Okay, so the technical categories, really.
More so, yeah.
Okay. Now, you were saying that it should be up for more. Now, I think in previous years, Harry Potter hasn't been nominated for anything more than it is right now. It's always just, it's always been a runner in the technical categories.
Right.
Now, what makes this one different? Part 2, I think, what is it, the 8th film? What makes this different from the first 7? Why do you think that this should have been up for more?
Well, it's a more mature movie, and the difference between the first movie and the 8th movie is there's an insane amount of difference. The first movie, Sorcerer's Stone, it's all very childlike, a lot of adventure, and stakes are high, in a sense of there is some, chance of life and death going on, but, you don't expect anyone to die really, except for the bad guy. And, good triumphs over evil and all that jazz. But the 8th film, there's death. There's some very
main characters too.
I'm sorry?
I said of some of the main cast too, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, people that we've been with for the whole time.
Exactly. And there's a lot of deep emotions going on. It was just a much more emotional movie, and you really get a feeling of that in the opening shot of the actual movie, when the camera goes through the Warner Brothers logo, and you see the shot of the castle with all the Dementors around it. And for anybody who knows the mythology, in the Harry Potter series, the Dementors are these very mysterious beings who just suck the happiness and life out of everything around them. So it sets a very dark tone. And then the next shot you have is of Snape standing in this archway looking down at the Hogwarts students who are just marching through campus, almost like in a military school. And first time I saw it, I was like, they got it right. They got the right mix of everything for the last movie.
Yeah, and see, I think that was my reaction going into the last one, about the whole movie and about the actors. It was just, they finally got it. And I remember thinking, I almost was wishing that they could go back and start from the first movie again, because I feel like just that main trio, they finally get the characters. I don't think they have in the previous movies. At least, now it's more evident that Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, they get their characters now. They're too old to go ahead and reprise the whole series, but
right,
I don't know.
right.
That was just my feeling of it.
No, I agree. And I mean, even for the adult actors who have been consistently good through every movie, they were emotionally devoted. Everybody seemed like they understood this was the last one, and you had to devote yourself to it. You had to invest a lot of yourself into it. And
it's kind of all or nothing.
Right, exactly. And that it goes perfectly with the story, because this is the big final battle of the wizarding world, as it's put. So
all right, well, actually, you brought up a good point about the adult actors. Some of the more famous, I don't know, you got Maggie Smith and Alan Rickman, and that had me thinking, because I have my answer for this. But my next question for you, what other categories, if you had to pick 2 other Academy Award nomination categories, what would you nominate Harry Potter for?
This is tough. Definitely music. I noticed that John Williams is mentioned twice, and I mean, very well deserved. I mean, it's John Williams, for crying out loud. But I honestly thought the composer on Deathly Hallows Part 2, Alexander Desplat, I think he deserved a nomination just because the music in this movie it's significantly different from even from the seventh movie, or the seventh movie Part 1, which he composed the music for. The music, it completely sets it apart from the rest of the series. It's serious, and it's supernatural almost. And again, to reference back to the first shot of the movie, you get this feeling that you really get the feeling that it's the end. You're like, this is the last time I could be seeing these characters again. This is you feel like something big is coming. And so I definitely think music. What else? I'm torn between directing and cinematography, because I think for David Yates to come in, he came in during for the fifth movie. He did Order of the Phoenix up till Deathly Hallows Part 2. And for him to come into the series so late in the game, and for him to pick it up and roll with it and do so well with it, because
and not to mention to keep the overall feeling of the movies. I mean, if you're not an expert on the study, you probably didn't even realize that there was another director between the fourth and the fifth movies. Now, right. He does give it his own touch, don't get me wrong there, and it's especially evident in the final movie. However, you're not going from like Steven Spielberg to like a Tim Burton. You're not getting a completely different feeling movie. Right. No, very much agreed. And I mean, the thing with David Yates too is that even the difference between Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince, I mean, those films are definitely, they're different in story, but they're different in feel too. And I mean, he just does such a good job with giving to the story and giving to the visual aspect of it. So I mean, I think he pulled it off great with that. I mean, for him to especially pull off, to understand the significance of the last movie and to be able to appreciate that and really to pull it off, I mean, I think that's an achievement in itself. And then cinematography, I think the cinematography on this film was perfect. I mean, it with every shot, everything just molded together so well. The shots, the lighting and the angles and everything, it fit the mood that was going with the music. It fit the mood of the story. It all flowed together really well. Like you said, almost for the first time, really, of the eight movies, it was definitely the one that stands out the most for everything just working together perfectly.
I mean, you look at the first movie, you're getting introduced to this world, and then, in this last movie, you have to have seen everything else to really understand and appreciate what's going on here. Because, you really could watch it and take it for just a great action movie, which to that it is, but it also, it's got story behind it too. And I mean, to not have seen the other movies, it doesn't really give the last movie justice. So, but I guess I'd have to go with music and cinematography, really, if it deserved any other nominations. And honestly, I think it's going to get some honorary award. Deathly Hallows Part 2 has been honored at a lot of other festivals and award ceremonies. So I think the Academy is going to honor it in some way, or at least give a dedication to it or something. So I would hope.
I sure hope so. Well, I want to thank you for coming in and talking to us, sharing your opinions about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Appreciate it.
I always have a great time talking with you. I hope we could do this again very soon. I'd love to have you on again. That's everything, guys. That was a 45-20 domination game on Ahhugotme. I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.